Here we go with the beneficial and harmful microorganisms. So yesterday we have gone through the beneficial microorganisms which are used in food industry. So for example, lactobacillus, which converts the milk into curd. So this process is gone through fermentation. Fermentation is the process which we have discussed yesterday, which is the main cause for this uh, changing of milk into curd, and even a few more processes which we have discussed yesterday. Those are the formation of beer and wine, alcohol. So uh, probiotic drinks are also made by adding some beneficial, some specific strains of bacteria which help to improve the digestion, which we have discussed yesterday. And even we have discussed about the yeast. So yeast is a single-celled fungi which plays an important role in making of bread, cakes, and pastries, children. Yesterday, yeah, so this yeast is being added. So yesterday we have discussed about the preparation of this dough, how the dough is raised, the process which is being taking place in this. So I think it's clear to you all, and even about the preparation of the vinegar. Vinegar is prepared out of alcohol by acetobacter bacteria. By the involvement of acetobacter bacteria is being used to produce vinegar from alcohol. Okay. Yes. Who is there? Himashri. Himashri, what happened? Himashri, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, what happened, Himashri? You were typing something.
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. Someone's asking. Okay, children. So the bacteria have involvement. The bacteria, there are beneficial bacteria, there are harmful bacteria also. We have gone through till now, we are facing, till now we have seen only one phase. There are two phases for this bacteria. There are two types of bacteria. There are beneficial and harmful also. So now we have gone through the beneficial bacteria, what are the benefits, how they are useful. So we have seen them, how it is useful in many ways, like in medicines also, there are some strains of bacteria, there are some types of bacteria which are used as antibiotics also. And now we'll go through the harmful microorganisms. So the microorganisms which are harmful, like they can cause the diseases. So the organisms, the microorganisms which cause disease to plants and animals. Even plants also suffer from diseases. Okay, there are diseases to plants just like animals. So plants and animals also affected with the diseases with some microorganisms. So now we'll see what are the diseases. There are two types again. In diseases, there are two types. There are communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. What is a disease actually? A disease is a condition in which you are not feeling well. Your body is not feeling well. Disease is a condition, is a state in which you are not feeling healthy. You are not feeling healthy. So in the disease, there are two types, communicable and non-communicable disease. So we'll go through the communicable diseases first. Communicable diseases are those diseases that are spread from person to person. Please underline it, children. It is there in your course book also. Please underline it. Communicable diseases are those diseases which are spread from one person to another. Please underline it. So the examples for this are influenza, cholera, tuberculosis, polio, hepatitis, measles, etc. Yes, Nayana, you have any doubt?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Nayana.
Ma'am, until now, what did you teach, ma'am? Due to some network issue, I was logged in.
We just had a quick recap of the yesterday's topic. We just had a recap. I have started the lesson just now. So I
Okay.
have started with the harmful microorganisms. Don't worry, I have started just now. So harmful microorganisms are certain organisms which cause disease not only in human beings, in plants and animals also. Okay? So the organisms which are associated
Okay.
with the spoilage and decomposition of food, even in the case of food also, the food will be spoiled with the action of this harmful microorganisms. You have seen very bad smell will be coming out of food, isn't it? When you
Yes,
keep it
ma'am.
for 2 or 3 days, the food which is unused, so very bad smell. It is because of the decomposition of food. Okay, an organism that can cause
Okay.
infections. You can mute yourself. So the organisms which cause infectious diseases are called pathogen. The organism that can cause infectious diseases is called a pathogen. So these pathogens are being carried along with a few vectors also. We can see vectors. Sorry, O, it is O. So this pathogen is being carried along with the vector. Vector might be a fly, a vector might be a mosquito. Okay, it can be a fly, it can be a mosquito, it can be a mosquito. Sorry, there is no space here. So it can be a mosquito, it can be a fly. So this pathogen, the pathogen in the sense the microorganism, it might be a protozoan, it might be a bacteria, it might be anything. So it will be a pathogen. So this microorganism, either it can be micro, means it is very minute and small. It can be anything. It can be a microorganism, can be a bacteria or a protozoan, or it can be anything. So it will be carried inside a mosquito or a fly. So when these flies and mosquito, they come and they just sit on the food which we eat, we will be infected. So it can be a cause. The cause can be a vector, the cause can be a fly, the cause can be a mosquito, or the microorganisms can be present inside the food which we eat, the contaminated food, the contaminated water. It might be present in the water also, it might be present in the food also. So the diseases can be spread, or the virus which are present in the air, in the atmosphere. A few organisms like virus, influenza virus. So the virus which cause common cold. Usually you'll be suffering from common cold, like sneezing. You'll be getting sneezing. You'll be getting sore throat, isn't it? The symptoms of common cold. You'll be getting running nose. Continuously you'll be getting running nose, you'll be getting headache. So common cold is a communicable disease, isn't it? If you go and sit near your friend, if you're suffering from common cold, if you're suffering from fever, flu, then your friend will also be affected. So this is communicable. Spreading from one person to another is called as communicable disease. Yes, Nagadatta, Mahima, any doubt?
No, ma'am, your
Yes, you
voice
have
Ma'am,
been.
your
is
voice is
breaking.
suddenly means we can't hear,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, it's stopping and
Okay.
it's again
It's again
going.
starting.
Yeah. Oh, now it's fine.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's okay.
Okay. Okay, you can mute yourself, children. So, any doubt other than this?
No,
One second.
ma'am.
Okay. So here, if you see, the cause can be anything for the communicable disease. What is a communicable disease? A disease which is spread from one person to another is called as communicable disease. So they are also known as contagious or infectious diseases. Communicable diseases are called as contagious or infectious diseases, as they are spread easily through contact of the infected person. If you are in contact with the infected person, like the present situation which you're. So children, if you see this non-communicable diseases, so the examples for non-communicable diseases are those diseases which are not spread from one person to another, which are also known as chronic diseases. They last for a long time. Okay, they last for a long duration. The four types of non-communicable diseases are cardiovascular disease, which is related to heart attacks and strokes, and cancer, chronic respiratory diseases like asthma, and diabetes. So first one, the cardiovascular disease. So this disease generally refers to the conditions that involve narrowed or blocked blood vessels, arteries or veins. Blood vessels in the sense arteries and veins. So in this situation, there will be a blockage in the arteries and veins. So they will clear those by doing some by giving some treatment. So there will be a severe chest pain in the case of a heart attack. So it is called as angina or stroke. Okay, children. And now coming to cancer. Cancer is the condition where cells in a specific part of the body grow and reproduce uncontrollably. I'll show you the video for this, how the cells grow and how they grow very fast. I'll just show you the video at the last, but first I'll just clear all these. Like I'll just explain it to you about the chronic respiratory disease also, and I'll show you one by one how the condition will be. So chronic respiratory diseases are those which are the diseases of upper respiratory tract, like lungs. Lungs will be affected, like asthma, for example, asthma, chronic pulmonary disease, or lung cancer. So all these are upper respiratory tract diseases. They might be anything. They might be lung cancer. They might be cystic fibrosis. They might be asthma, or any respiratory diseases which affect all the ages. Not in the case of seniors. They may affect children. They may affect teens. They may also affect adults. They may also affect the senior citizens like elders. Okay? It may be caused to anyone. And now coming to diabetes. Diabetes is a disease in which blood glucose level or blood sugar level elevate. It may increase or it may decrease. It is due to the malfunctioning of pancreas. Okay, so I'll be showing you the video for this. Just give me a second.
Cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, cancer, and chronic respiratory diseases are known as non-communicable diseases. In recent years, these diseases have increased as a result of aging, urbanization, globalization, and changes in lifestyles, and they've become the great epidemic of our age. Non-communicable diseases can largely be prevented. Terrible epidemic.
1 second.
Diseases can largely be prevented by adopting a healthy lifestyle, but to do so requires more than simply personal determination. For example, when wholesome food is more expensive and less available than junk food. When physical activity is a challenge because the parks and recreation areas are not safe or properly equipped. or when it's hard to quit smoking or drinking because advertising of these products seems to be all around us. That is why laws and regulations are needed to make the healthy choice the easiest choice. Without these laws and regulations, more and more people will develop a non-communicable disease and need lifelong treatment that could ruin them financially. But there's still time to stop this epidemic from growing, and some countries in the Americas have already taken action by, for example, reformulating processed foods to make them healthier, informing consumers about the nutrition content of packaged foods, making more fresh foods available, regulating the sale of junk food in schools, as well as providing free drinking water, increasing taxes on tobacco, alcohol, and sugar-sweetened beverages, facilitating access to quit smoking programs, banning tobacco use in enclosed public spaces, and limiting the advertising of cigarettes, alcohol, and junk food. Creating opportunities for physical activity, including creating recreational bicycle paths and
non-communicable diseases. The non-communicable diseases affect only those persons who are suffering from them. These are not transmitted from person to person. Thus, common public health measures such as sanitation, vaccination, etc. have nothing to do with the control of these diseases. However, proper health education can help in preventing some of these diseases.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay. So I'll just show you about the communicable diseases also.
Diseases. Communicable diseases. Diseases which are transmitted directly or indirectly from person to person are called communicable or contagious diseases. They are caused by microorganisms. Microorganisms grow and multiply within the host body, turning it into a storehouse reservoir of the disease. These diseases spread either directly, example tuberculosis, cholera and influenza, or through agents